South Dakota governor seeking full-term Clinches G.O.P nomination.
That is the headline from the New York Times, reporting that Governor Larry Roden has secured the Republican nomination for a full 4-year term after a runoff election held on Tuesday. Roden, a rancher and former lieutenant governor, assumed the state's top office last year when Governor Kristi Noem resigned to become President Trump's Secretary of Homeland Security.
Noem, the first woman to serve as South Dakota's governor, was dismissed from that federal post in March after a tumultuous tenure. Roden's path to the nomination was far from assured. He entered a crowded primary that included the state's sitting congressman, the Speaker of the South Dakota House of Representatives, and businessman Toby Doden. The primary was notable because it featured 3 prominent officeholders, the congressman, a House Speaker, and a wealthy businessman, all vying for the same nomination. In the opening round of balloting last month, Doden finished first, several thousand votes ahead of Roden, but he fell short of the 35% threshold needed to win outright, forcing a runoff. President Trump did not endorse either candidate, leaving the contest to be decided by Republican voters alone. Roden, whose political style is described as more reserved than Noem's, worked to forge his own brand. He announced the return of 4th of July fireworks at Mount Rushmore, an event attended by the former president, and he took on the long-stalled plan to build a new state prison. During a televised debate on KYLO-TV, Roden said, "I stay true to my planks of openness, civility, and responsiveness." Doden, positioning himself as a political outsider with multiple business ventures, pledged to be the fiercest ally to President Trump in the nation and called for reducing and eventually eliminating the state property tax. He also declared, "I will be the most pro-business governor this state has ever seen." The runoff, held on Tuesday, drew significant attention as it determined which Republican would face the Democrat in a state that has not elected a Democratic governor since the 1970s. The Associated Press called the race for Roden, making him the clear favorite heading into November's general election. The Associated Press declaration came shortly after polls closed, confirming Roden's victory and solidifying his status as the party's standard-bearer. No Democrat has held the governorship since the 1970s, and aside from a tight race in 2018, the party has shown little electoral strength in recent cycles. Former state legislator Dan Ehlers will carry the Democratic banner. Ehlers, a former state legislator, will attempt to break a decades-long Republican hold on the governor's mansion. That wraps up the latest on South Dakota's gubernatorial race. Listeners can expect more coverage as the November race unfolds. Thank you for listening.